Hey, what's up YouTube? I'm making this video to talk about Maxine's video she got going on here on YouTube. It's called Joy Satan Experiences Freeing the Demons by High Priest Maxine Dietrich's sermons. And she mentions on here that that several demons came to her, including Azazel and other high-ranking demons. I think she even mentioned Satan, maybe not Satan, but some of his high-up demons like Azazel and these other, like Thoth and these other ancient Egyptian gods and goddesses, and that they came to her to be freed, and by sex magic she frees them, which I kind of find very ridiculous, and the reason for that is she goes on to say in this video that when the war was fought a long time ago against that these demons, that Satan's demons, they fell in love with humanity, they fell in love with human women, and they started bearing demigods, and I guess they were advancing us to this point to where, you know, we became a threat to other aliens out there, other Nordics. The majority of Nordics were against humanity's evolving and becoming gods like them. So they invaded this planet with the Greys and other, I mean, maybe it was just the Nordics, I don't know, but these aliens invaded this planet, and there was a huge war, and Satan and his demons were outnumbered. And then she went on to say on this video that these enemy Nordics, they took a part of Satan and his demons. They took a part of their souls. They took away their power, and they imprisoned these demons, and their kundalinis dropped in the process. And so, you know, after thousands and thousands of years, they come to Maxine in order to be set free, for Maxine to do some little sex magic ritual or whatever, and free these demons, but without any real resistance from the enemy aliens that controlled this planet and that beat them in the war. So, you know, it's very fucking it's very ridiculous, and when you think about it critically, the whole story it falls apart, because if Satan and his demons are outnumbered by other Nordics, and they took part of their souls and they dropped their kundalinis and enslaved them, how is some fat trailer park white trash going to get past these enemy Nordics and through some sex magic ritual end up freeing Satan and his demons in the process? It doesn't make sense. It's very stupid, because once Satan's demons lost the war and they got parts of their souls removed, and they were cut off from the light, and their kundalinis dropped in the process, because the soul needs light in order to live, in order to be powerful. I mean, a soul without light is weak, and you know, and not psychic, and so forth and so forth. But how is but once they did drop their kundalinis, took part of their souls, and cut them off from the light, then one of the major issues an army would have, or a government, and the government of Nordics in this case, would keep other people from freeing them, from tying into their chakras and lighting up their chakras, and freeing their souls from the prison that they're in. How come this never happened thousands of years ago? How come it's just happening now with Maxine? And this is some white trash woman that probably, you know, lives in the trailer, you know. And I mean, have you seen her husband? So that Clifford guy, that Clifford Harrington dude, you know, you can find his picture all over Google. I mean, this guy's like 100% fucking white trash. So, you know, why not go to somebody? I mean, even then, I mean, it's questionable. I mean, you can go to somebody who has a good reputation, a good education, who does have spiritual power and all that, more so than Maxine. And I'm sure there's people out there that are like that, like Tibetan monks or some stuff. I mean, I can go on and on, but they came to Maxine, some white trash. I mean, without any real resistance from the enemy aliens that control this planet. Because during her ritual of freeing these demons, how come these enemy angels? I don't like calling them angels, and I don't like calling demons demons. They're aliens. They're extraterrestrials, and so I like to call them what they are, because I don't like promoting superstitious bullshit. But how come she wasn't killed? Why was Maxine not killed, or not killed while she was trying to free these demons, or at least severely harmed to keep her away from doing such? It's almost as if the enemy aliens that control this planet allowed her to do that, allowed her to free these demons. The question is why? Because they had the power. They have the power and the technology and so forth to stop Maxine in her place. I mean, these aliens beat these demons in a war. They took parts of their soul. They imprisoned them, and they're just going to stand back and let somebody free them without any real resistance on their end. I mean, it doesn't make sense. It's quite dumb. But what really happened is that Maxine was met by imposters and possibly thought forms, but I think she's on a high enough level to understand the difference between thought forms and the real deal. But I don't trust for a minute that she was approached by the real ancient Egyptian gods and goddesses, let alone anything legit. And knowing people's experiences, because you can read about and watch many videos on YouTube about people that have had experiences with ancient Egyptian gods and goddesses, and these people are into angel magic, New Agers, and they're bringing out New Age bullshit, saying that these gods have gave them to spread this knowledge to the world, and they talk about their experience with these ancient Egyptian gods and goddesses, and it sounds exactly like Maxine's experience, loving Nordic-looking beings coming and talking to them. And so, what the JOS would say about these Nordics, they would say that they're enemy Nordics and they're just deceiving these New Agers and all that. But how do you know that the same doesn't apply with the Joy Satan too? And the same doesn't apply with Maxine? Because, as I just mentioned, the huge contradiction to begin with. Because, Satan's demons were outnumbered. They were outmatched, outpowered. They lost the war. Parts of their souls were taken from them, and they were pretty much damned, if not damned, in the process. I believe if any such beings, like Satan and his demons, existed in the ancient past, and parts of their souls were taken and their kundalinis dropped, best believe that they were probably damned in the process and put on a frequency, cut off from our universe. And in a way, probably to the point where they can't get no help and all that. But and knowing how I have this alien parasite on me and how he can tune me into any frequency it wants, I can see how damnation could be possible. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. They lost the war. Parts of their souls were taken from them. Their kundalinis dropped. They were cut off from the light, and they were enslaved. And then all of a sudden, thousands and thousands of years ago, what did these did the bad Nordics just decide to give up their watching posts, to stop watching the inmates in the cell, so to speak? So they just stepped away from the cell door and just let any white trash fool come up and open up the gates so Satan and his demons can become free again. Where the hell were the prison guards? And if they can, and the gods, they can kill anybody they want. They got that power. They can make it look natural and fucking cause a car accident and all that. How come they allowed Maxine to free these demons? But people are going to say, well, she was protected by Satan. How did Satan fucking become free in the first place? and it doesn't make no sense. So you know, I mean, and again, these are contradictions I should have paid attention to begin with when I was a member of the JOS, and I can't believe I never critically questioned any of these bullshit fucking claims that came out of Maxine's mouth. The only time I started questioning is when it started becoming too late for me. I was already put in that corner of the wall by having this little fucking alien parasite attached to my astral body. So you know, yeah, and that's pretty much it.